Hey everybody, my name's Melissa and welcome back to Hopeful Happenings. Today we're learning all about a plot's midpoint. So let's get started. You may not have realized, but every good story has a middle point, a 50% mark. It's exactly in the middle of the story when a character and plot really take a different stance in the story. The reason for this is that at the middle of the story, there is a moment of truth that the character realizes what the real conflict of the story is. Something about the nature of the conflict that they did not realize previously, and it affects the rest of the story from now on. This central truth that they learn is so important that you can actually even tell when they've learned it, if you're watching a movie, for example, just by the expressions on their face. So the first half of the movie, you'll probably see that they look confused, that they look like they're struggling. You know, it's hard to keep up with what's going on. And then the second half of the movie, there's an obvious sense of knowledge that they've gained and determination. Now, why do we need a midpoint moment in every story? Well, it's a moment when we can kind of cap the reactions that are happening to the character and start proactively going towards the climax. Obviously, everything does lead to the climax from the very beginning, inciting moment, but it's more an active preparation to meet the climax and help us prepare to know what to expect at the climax. Now, our readers, or viewers if we're watching a movie, we don't want them to know exactly what's going to happen at the midpoint. The midpoint has been described as an unexpected twist. I think this is partially because we as readers don't want to be frustrated with the character for not seeing the conflict sooner, because we shouldn't be able to see it either. But then once they know what's going on, we know what's going on and we're rooting for them to conquer. Let me show you a few examples to illustrate my point. The midpoint moment in Coraline is when Coraline tries to leave and discovers the other mother built a fake world to entice her to stay. Or something else.
She just loves something to eat.
Eat? That's ridiculous. Mothers don't eat daughters.
From then on, she will actively try to defeat the other mother and return to her real world. The Truman Show. The midpoint moment in The Truman Show is when Truman realizes his life is not normal, but staged. And he wants to get out.
And? Truman, this is silly.
There it is! There it is! There's the dented beetle! Yes!
Tarzan. The midpoint moment of Tarzan is when he meets Jane and he realizes that she is just like him. Because personal identity is something that Tarzan struggled with for the first half of the movie, the second half will be him actively trying to discover who he really is. My last example is Phantom of the Opera. The midpoint moment of the Phantom of the Opera is when Christine realizes how far the Phantom will go to keep her, and now she has to actively protect Raoul.
If he has to kill 1,000 men,
Forget this waking nightmare.
the Phantom of
This
the
phantom
Opera
is a
will
fable.
kill and
Believe me,
kill
there
again.
is.
So you see, the midpoint moment is when the character takes charge of the story and actively goes against the antagonistic force. From then on, the tension will build as we root for them to conquer whatever it is that goes against them. I hope this video helped you understand what a midpoint is and why it's so important to have in your story. It really does help you understand the pace of the story and get you moving toward the climax. Thank you so much for watching. If you're new here, please subscribe down below. I post once a week on YouTube and I post daily on Instagram. Also, don't forget to check out my new website where I have information about my book, my career, and I have freebies for you that you can use for your own writing, including a free character profile template. Thanks so much for watching. We'll see you next week. Bye.